Debut of the Golden Truth podcast. Hit that intro. Welcome, everyone, to the Golden Truth Podcast. I'm your host, Oscar Montiel. And before I get to the main show, this just a little introductory to what this podcast is going to be about. Mostly, it's going to be about Washington, the Washington Commanders, and as you notice there, the words are going to be Golden Truth. So I'm going to be deeping dive. It's going to be a deep dive of controversies. Now, I know on my channel, I usually would steer away from controversies, but with the owner doing his random stuff, I think it's necessary for me to, take, speak my piece on it. So this is going to be about, Washington, sprinkle in some NFL content in there as well when needed. I do not have an official co-host just yet. I am working on that. But in the meantime, we got Jason Alamio, who you guys know as J Sports. Go make sure you guys sub him up. His link is in the description down below. But let's go ahead and let's get started. This is the lineup for tonight's show. Like I said, we're going to be talking about Dan Snyder, his sex allegations, what the NFL, could do about it if they are. We'll also be discussing the situation with the Brian Flores accusations of minorities not getting a fair chance at head coaching jobs. And then also we will be discussing Roger Goodell's press conference, our reactions, because Jason and I did both watch it. And, you know, sneak preview, we weren't impressed, but if you guys want to know why we weren't impressed, then, stay there. Don't go anywhere. But without further ado, let's introduce Jason. How are you, man?
What's up, Oscar? I'm so excited. Thanks for having me on. And I have my soda ready to go. And I have my other soda ready to go. My new mic. And congratulations on your new podcast. This is exciting. And I'm ready.
All right. So we're going to be kicking off the show with Dan Snyder talk. Now, Dan Snyder, I believe when Washington, I think it was like around 2020, because I remember Ron Rivera just got hired. Unfortunately, things didn't go the organization's way, from the name change to accusations of people, women saying that him and other employees sexually assaulted him or them, sorry, sexually assaulted them, and he's adamantly refusing and refuting that argument, saying that it never happened. But we have two articles here, and we'll be discussing these two articles. I'll put the articles links in the description. To be honest, YouTube, if you want to cancel me, go ahead, right ahead. I don't care. I can just switch over easily to a podcast platform if you guys don't want me to spew bad things. But other YouTubers
Nah,
have
you won't get canceled for this.
spoken about Dan Snyder's sex allegations, which are repulsive, by the way. Obviously, they're repulsive, but if the NFL isn't gonna do anything about it, that's even more repulsive. How can you have a pervert as an owner, own a team and have a workplace like that? But so here's the first article, if I can get the name. It's going to be discussing, Congress. The good thing of me having Jason here is that he also owns or has another, channel. It's, oh my god,
Get the memo.
get the memo. There you go. He hasn't posted a lot on there for a while, so that's why I was blanking there for a second. But
Yeah.
go check it out. I don't have it in the link in the description right now, but I'll obviously put it in there. He's the politics guy, so for a guy that doesn't obviously I'm educated. I know school stuff, but like he gets deep in the politics. So we'll talk about the Congress side of things as well. So the first article I have here is Congressional Committee pressures NFL to release Washington probe findings, and this was an article. I don't know who published it, but like I said, I'll put the link down there. But so the article states this: former Washington Commanders employees and members of the U.S. House of Representatives Committee on Oversight and Reform once again called for NFL to release the finding of its probe into the franchise. A hybrid roundtable was held on Thursday with several former employees of the franchise to discuss workplace misconduct and other NFL failure to take steps to prevent sexual harassment and verbal abuse within the Washington football team under the leadership of owner Dan Snyder, per an official release. It comes after congressional members for the findings to be released. When the investigation of the air pressure of Tom Brady's football concludes with a 2,000 plus page report, but the investigation into 2 decades of sexual harassment concludes with nothing. It shows the NFL's complete lack of respect towards women, their employees, and our culture as a country. Emily Applegate, the team's former marketing coordinator, and of course I'll have to get a notification to interrupt my reading. Team's former coordinator and ticket sales representative, said in her opening statement, committee members heard firsthand accounts from 6 different former employees. Applegate, Melanie Coburn, I apologize if I mispronounce any names, a former cheerleader and former director of marketing, Rachel Engleson, a former intern and later director of marketing and client relations, Anna Nunez, former coordinator of business development and client services, Brad Baker, a former video productions manager, and Tiffany A. Johnson. My goodness, this article really needs cleaning. And cheerleader and marketing manager. Several allegations were repeated at the table, such as how several women working for the franchise endured unwanted touching and inappropriate comments. There were also claims that lewd footage from the cheerleader calendar shoots was edited together by the video department. We have one goal with no news to help you win your fantasy. What the freaking ads? What the heck? Is that it? Please tell me it is. Oh, great. However, new allegations were also made. I am here today to tell you about the sexual advances by Dan Snyder and other constant unprofessionalism, Johnson said. And boys' locker room culture that started at the top with Dan Snyder and continued down the line with all of Dan Snyder's senior team. She went on to detail what she learned during her time with the franchise, liking multiple offensive moments, including a time when Snyder allegedly sexually harassed her. I learned that placing me strategically by the owner at a work dinner after this networking event was not for me to discuss business, but to allow him to place his hand on my thigh under the table. Johnson said in her opening statement, I learned how to discreetly remove a man's unwanted hand from my thigh at a crowded dinner table, at a crowded restaurant to avoid a scene. I learned that job survival means I should continue my conversation with another coworker rather than to call out Dan Snyder right then in the moment. I also learned later that evening how to awkwardly laugh while Dan Snyder aggressively pushed me towards his limo with his hand on my lower back, encouraging me to ride with him to my car. I learned how to continue to say no, even though a situation was getting more awkward, uncomfortable, and physical. Snyder denied the allegations in a statement on Thursday. However, in a statement to the Associated Press, league spokesman Brian McCarthy said, the NFL is reviewing and considering Miss Johnson's allegations as we would any other new allegations regarding workplace misconduct at the Washington Commanders. We will determine any further action as appropriate. As members called once again for the report to be released, the employees emphasized the need of legislative action to make reporting sexual harassment easier. The NFL did not protect us when they needed to, but they still have a chance to make it right, Nunes said. The NFL preaches about inspiring change, but that seems only to be the case when it's convenient for them. And I think that's it. Yes, it is. So, Jason, while I take a breath, let's take your thoughts. Let me get a drink myself. I have a drink here in my room. Just give me 1 second. But I'll let you speak for about 3 minutes.
Oh man, you should do what I do and take pauses in articles and comment that way. Oh man, yeah, that, and by the way, that's why I save the things into Word documents to kind of skip all the ads and all that, because then you don't know when it's the end. And yeah, that I'm gonna kind of start from the end, if you don't mind. That whole hey, the NFL only cares about this diversity and inclusion, and it preaches about it only when it benefits them. I couldn't have agreed more with that statement, and I know we'll get to the press conference, so I won't really say too much about it. But in the past, with Roger Goodell, I mean, even just not even Roger Goodell, the entire league, it benefits them when they want to avoid a lawsuit. It benefits them when they want more grant money. Well, they don't need grant money. They're a public or private organization, but it benefits them when they want a new TV deal and companies are like, I don't know that I want to partner up with you because you're doing bad things. I don't know if I can curse on your channel, but anyway, I always say that. But I mean, yeah, I can agree completely, wholeheartedly with that statement. They're a corporation. It's all about public image. How do people perceive us? And if they perceive me, Roger Goodell, and that guy that spokesperson as being completely antithetical to the whole diversity inclusion thing, then that's something that we need to take care of. So aside from that, I think these allegations are serious. I think the NFL trying to do an investigation on itself. I hate to go into the press conference. I'm just going to mention one thing. Goodell said that the same thing I'm going to say is he doesn't believe a team can investigate themselves. I don't think the NFL can investigate a team, honestly, because you would think, well, they're the NFL. They do have an image to maintain and all of that. They can do that, but they're going to protect the owners. That's who the NFL works for. They don't work for the players. They don't work for the employees of the owners' teams. Or the teams in the league. I think the fact that this committee hearing is going on and it's gaining so much steam. As I know, Congress, they're not really fast to do anything that isn't for the people. They're very fast to handle the big banks and Wall Street and make sure their pockets are being taken care of. And I think your audience might know that they got a $1,400 check. I'm not gonna get political, but I'm just gonna give you an example. They got a $1,400 check 3 months after our president was elected, and they haven't gotten anything since. You know what I mean? So, but as far as the committee doing these hearings, I think I feel like for me it's picking up a lot of steam, and I enjoy the NFL being pressured really, really big like this, but also Washington. I mean, if the truth is that the owners can vote this guy out, I would as an owner, just because I just want the football season to continue, and them trying to do their own investigation, bull. And that whole, hey, I had to sit next to him at the workplace. I had to move his arm. I had to remove myself. He wanted to walk me to my car. It's this predatory behavior of men who, they have all the, I go back to Hollywood, Harvey Weinstein, and then you had Bill Cosby. He did the whole drugging women, and then he would rape them, and then whatever. But even Harvey Weinstein would say, do you want to get that next hot movie? Do you want to be with Leonardo DiCaprio and film a scene with him? Well, you better film a scene with me, right? And so I think the last thing I'll say is that whole thing of him advancing when she says no, and her having to walk quickly to her car, and him walking with her to her car and all that. It's creepy behavior, and I think she's very smart. I think Emily or someone had said it, in the article. She knew that if she wanted to keep working there and keep her career going, she had to keep sitting with him at work dinners and doing what he wanted. So I think my biggest takeaway is, of course, and I don't think anything's going to happen. They might vote Snyder out, but the NFL is not one to come down hard like Don Silver of the NBA against controversy like this. So thank God for Congress looking into this. They could do a lot. They're the federal government, and they can hold back funding from the NFL. They could shut the NFL down as long as they want to. There's so much they can do. So lots of pressure building.
Yeah. I mean, and then you and I were discussing this off air. Is like the NFL, and actually, I'm glad that the article stated it, because I probably would have forgotten. They decide to pursue Tom Brady. Granted, he's a cheater in himself, but we have discussed that enough. But they discuss, they do a I think, let me see, like a 1-year investigation into Deflategate, but they are not willing to do something over 10, 15 years. Really? First. Second, another thing that we were discussing off air was the NFL forced the former Panthers owner out. And I think he, granted, I don't remember the full details, but I think it was something along the lines of child pornography. Now, I get it. Maybe that's worse or whatever, but still, sexual misconduct is still sexual misconduct. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. Like, Jason, would you rather be killed by a bullet, or would you rather be killed by a knife? At the end of the day, you're going to be killed.
I mean, and you can discuss the difference. I mean, a knife, you have to cut multiple times. So, yeah, with her, but in the gun, you want to discuss that? Fine. Right? I don't know why I always get technical with it. Like, well, if you get a knife and I stab you in your throat, I'm gonna have to stab deeper. Or if I stab you in your neck, I have to. Or if I stab you in your chest, I gotta do this. Whereas a gun, I can just shoot you in your artery and boom. Again, and you could, if I want to get even more tech. Why am I discussing how to murder someone or how to be murdered? Like, you can just get the gun, and if I shoot you in your leg, well, you have a chance to survive. Oh, if I hit you in the head, but you survive. I mean, there's so many ways. Either way, yeah, no, exactly. Child porn, I mean, that's just gross. I mean, that is beyond disgusting, and thank God he's out. But this is repulsive behavior. I just talked about how predatory it is to, I'm going to follow her to her car. I'm going to make her sit next to me. I'm going to that whole thing, it's like, dude, like, I was just talking to a friend, Tucker, and he was saying how I was walking around in my neighborhood and there was a teenage guy flirting with this, young girl, and he was flirting with her to get in her pants. I'm not trying to be all gross and things on your show, but the point was that of the conversation is that, guys, they're so grimy sometimes that all they want is, let me get in her pants without actually getting to know her. Hey, what's your name? Tell me what your favorite color is. What do you do for a living? Things like that. And, so it's this predatory behavior that should still be talked about. I mean, like the NBA, allowed sponsors to leave Kobe Bryant because he was accused of something he never did. He played without any sponsors in the finals in 2003. He, all of that. The fact that he was still allowed to play is crazy. But, it's just incredible how they do Deflategate. And by the way, they still didn't do anything to Tom Brady. He still went on 2 years later to win another Super Bowl. But exactly, you're thinking, dude, this dude did child porn. This dude did. So does it not matter if he does it to adults? So if the Panthers owner did it to adults, would he be okay? Would the NFL do exactly what they're doing with Snyder? Oh, but it's a kid. Yeah, of course you want to fire him, get him out because that's a kid. That's gross. But why don't you also do the same thing with a guy who, I mean, come on. These girls, a lot of them are so young, 20, 21, 22. And it's just, it's repulsive. You gotta be, you can't find a happy medium. The only happy medium is, hey, I'm going to throw you out for doing child porn, and I'm going to throw you out for repulsively going after grown women. Simple as that.
So I was skimming the YouTube just to see if there was any comments. But
no comments?
Yeah. No, not right now.
It says one watching.
Yeah, it's me. The toughness of trying to multitask. Because we're blind, folks. Anyways,
yes.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Like, to be honest, even this guy has basically driven this organization to the ground. Because you look at what they accomplished in the 80s and 90s. They were, Super Bowl contenders. Probably not year in, year out, but every maybe 3 or 4 years, they would be in the playoffs. Ever since Dan Snyder's taken ownership, he's only won one playoff game, and that was back in 2000, the 2005-2006 season when I was introduced to football. I remember that game. So yeah, this guy's basically run this company into the ground from being stubborn with the name change, changing it from Washington Redskins to the Washington football team to now the Commanders. What? You can't even get a name right. And if you were as stubborn, maybe Washington, okay, fine. People don't like the name Washington Redskins. Okay, whatever. It's offensive. Okay, whatever. Change the name when people are actually when it's ahead of time, not when you're pressured. Because when he got pressured out of it, he was forced to. So the limited time they were forced to go with Washington football team for the 2020, for 2 years, and then they get this wrong. So this guy, is doing, has done horrible business. A lot of players, in the previous regime before Ron Rivera came in, really said a lot of, Kyle Shanahan. I said on your channel that I like to see Kyle Shanahan and Sean McVay succeed, because they were former Washington coaches or coordinators, and I like to see what they could have done for Washington if Washington would have gotten, their hiring processes right. But no, they didn't.
Because they let go of Sean McVay,
for John Gruden, who I guess 7-9. You know how Dallas had 8
Wait,
and
you're
8?
talking about Raiders or because Gruden went to the Raiders?
No. Jay Gruden, not John. Jay.
Okay, Jay Gruden. Yeah. Okay.
There's two Grudens. Like thinking of it now, you know how Dallas was like 8-8 for like 5 years straight or 4 years
Yeah.
straight.
Yeah.
Washington was like 7-9 3 years straight. So like they let those guys free in favor of a guy that went 7-9, and then they draft Dwayne Haskins, which that's debatable. Okay, he may have the potential, but his immaturity was a problem. Dan Snyder, his son went to school with Dwayne Haskins, I guess, or high school or whatever.
I didn't think he was good. I thought Alex Smith was a better quarterback, especially with those bombs he could throw.
Yeah.
I mean, if we're being honest,
talking. But Ron Rivera was basically more of that, not Dan Snyder, to be honest. That was more Ron Rivera than Dan Snyder. In fact, Ron Rivera really wanted. If it wasn't because of cap situation, if Alex Smith didn't go against the cap, he probably would have been released that following season. But because Washington would have lost a lot of money, he didn't cut him. So, yeah, like, I don't know, this owner, I'm hoping that the NFL, even though, and they were talking a lot about it in the press conference, and Roger Goodell just did not seem interested at all. Like, he sounded very scripted. Like, if, I would not be surprised if Dan Snyder's the owner past this season. Like, they're saying, oh, maybe before the 2022 season, 2023 season, he's going to be out. No, he's not, because the NFL has gone soft. Roger Goodell doesn't care.
No, he doesn't. I mean, why doesn't he care though? He cares when it's one of the players. I mean, I said this on my channel, and I can tell I sound like I'm in an echoey room. That's because I'm sitting back from the mic, and that's what I love about this mic that the Addy Blue can't do is it still catches me.
Stop bragging about your mic on my channel. I already had to hear a lot about it on your channel.
Yeah. Anyway, so the thing about this mic is it'll still catch me, which is awesome. Anyway, yeah, Oscar, be jealous. You're gonna have a better MacBook than me. I'm so angry. Why did I recommend it? Anyway, like I said on my channel, Zeke Elliott had a scandal. I forgot what his thing was. And Jerry Jones said, I ain't paying that freaking fine. Are you kidding me? And he took the NFL to court, and then he came with the freaking tail between his legs. I just couldn't find my wallet, right? My checkbook. So, that fine. So, yeah. And then, by the way, he releases the findings on Ezekiel Elliott, but he won't release the findings on an owner. And we'll get to that in the press conference when we talk about it. But what's funny is, it's all, I need the owner's permission. Why do you need the owner's permission? You didn't need Zeke's permission. You just did it. So I think, again, he works for the owners. And not for all of them. I really do think he's got a vendetta against certain teams. And so does Rob Manfred of baseball. I do think he's got a vendetta against Dallas. I'd love to know who Roger Goodell's a fan of. I would love to know.
Basically.
Because you cannot be the football commissioner and not have a favorite team. Come on.
And here's another thing. Like, I saw the reports, granted, I don't know if someone, like, made a, typo or whatever, but something made me laugh was that Dan Snyder literally said that he was going to conduct his own investigation into his own team. I just found that funny. I was like, what?
Did I rape someone? No? All right, I'm free.
So, like, yeah, like, I don't know. Like, here's the truth. And here's the thing. I'm not, on other channels, I'm known as being the Russian judge on other YouTube channels. It's not that. It's not that I'm a pessimist.
Wait. You have, they comment about you?
No, on the other YouTube, on another YouTuber's channel, they literally call me that. Like, they actually, like, call me, you're the Russian judge. I'm like, yeah.
Which channel?
at Oliver's.
No way. Wait, huh?
I guess it's
Okay,
like,
continue.
anyways, it's not because I'm a pessimist or I look at the downside. I say I'm a realist. Like, this organization's been so bad for like so long. I can't I can't be excited for this team. Like I just can't. Like obviously I'll be discussing, how the team can improve, but as long as, you know, Dan Snyder's around, I know
Well,
we're gonna get this
and that's
far.
yeah, and that's the same thing. And I think that's what makes your. I mean, look, a lot of them have 10, 20, 30,000 subscribers and more, but they do animations and all that. You don't do animations, neither do I. But I mean, why do you have like what 105 subscribers, right? Is because you're not just coming on here saying, "Well, Washington is so great, and we're going to ignore this topic," because yeah, the fans love when their team wins, but a real fan, and I was talking to Duncan Dye, my guest, about this and hopefully a future guest on your channel. He, you're a truth teller, and it's not about, like a real fan goes through the pain of when the team loses. They go through the highs of when they win and when they accomplish things. But they're also not afraid to go, you know what? I don't think the wide receivers were good this game. I think this game they dropped the ball too much. You know what? These guys over here, they fumbled the ball too much. Why didn't Zeke go do this? Why didn't, right? And it's not, you're right. It's not to be a pessimist. Sometimes we can be. But like, they're so used to being, ooh, yippity-yay, Washington. And if they do go into the negative sphere, they're like, but it's going to get better. But it's going to get better. And the fans kind of don't want to hear that. Hey, their subscribers, they get more. Sure. But the fans want to hear you say, guys, this is a big issue and we need to talk about it. So honestly, keep doing what you're doing, because I get called the same thing with the Golden Knights. You're so negative. You don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what. Okay, but if I don't mention how bad the team is doing and how just boring their play is getting, who else is going to say it? All they do on the sports channels, on ESPN, on the NHL channel, the NFL network, on the NBA network, and the MLB network, they just suck up to those guys. And unfortunately, we got YouTubers that do the same thing. So that's what makes your channel more attractive to people is, well, hey, he's going to be telling the truth. These other guys are just going to be flowering over the truth as if it's not there.
Yeah. But to end the Dan Snyder discussion, fans, don't get your hopes up. This guy ain't going anywhere. The NFL, Congress can do so much, but if the NFL isn't going to budge, if Roger Goodell is going to be sitting or standing there at the podium, reciting his lines, because, again, if you didn't look at the press conference, he sounded so scripted. It was so disgusting. It was so annoying. I was like, wow, I wasted 45 minutes of my time just for him to repeat like the same sentence. Like every single question was basically answered the same thing. Like it was so annoying. I'm like, can I just stop watching this?
He can't even answer a little girl, like go off script. Like, oh, it's a little girl. How do I just wow, does he not know, like
Yeah.
Yeah. No, the NFL is not going to do a damn thing. If they do, it'll just be a slap on the wrist. If this was the NBA, with the Donald, I don't know if you heard this last night or now 2 nights ago on my channel.
Yeah.
We're talking about, was it 2 nights ago? We're talking about how Donald Sterling, the NBA commissioner, he didn't give a damn. He threw him out like that. We need a commissioner like that who's not afraid to go, no, you're wrong. So I would say Dan Snyder's going to stick around. They're going to lie about, we're still investigating. That's why. You're going to be in the 2025 season and, we're still investigating.
Or he's going to pull another sly move, because I remember, I think it was like before the season started, like he literally like transferred like some parts of his ownership to his wife or something, where he was like, she was owner for like 5 months or something. Like he's probably gonna pull like a sly move like that. He's probably gonna like take the name off of his name and then give it to his son or something.
Yeah,
So he's probably
yeah,
he's gonna
but it doesn't
because the NFL is gonna allow it. Just watch. Just watch.
Oh, they will. I mean, they allowed him to do it for his wife. And you got to take a look. I mean, you think that Mike Shanahan's not giving Kyle Shanahan advice? Oh, come on. You think them 49ers weren't getting advice from the former head coach of the Denver Broncos? If you think that, you need to reevaluate what your brain is doing. So yeah, he gives it to his son. It doesn't mean his son ain't doing what his daddy says.
Basically. But, all right, let's move on to the next topic, which is discussing and they're going to intertwine. The two new coaching hires that happened, well, I'm just going to say this weekend and yesterday. But this past weekend, Mike McDaniels, I think his name is now the new head coach of the
Dolphins.
Dolphins.
Miami.
He came from the 49ers. I always want to say coaching the 49ers, but no, he came from the 49ers to coach the Dolphins. And then Lovie Smith is now the new coach of the Houston Texans. Two minority guys, but I think they just did it so that way they can shut up or shut down. So that way the NFL can just shut down Brian Flores' conversation, even though he does have a valid point. The two, coaches, we'll wait and see if they did it just for show in 1 year's time, in my opinion, just because, everyone's saying that Lovie Smith is hired, job, him getting hired, it was just a show because they really wanted an inexperienced guy that hasn't even coached a day in his life.
Yeah, that high school quarterback or whatever, college quarterback.
No, he's an NFL pro, but like NFL pro quarterback, but not a good quarterback at all, and only was like a high school offensive coordinator or something. So
yeah, well, continue, and then I'll say something.
So they went with Lovie Smith. We'll wait and see if he gets fired in a year's time, like what they did with. Why am I forgetting these guys' names? See, this is what happens when you make coaching staffs like 1 year out. I forget their names. Well.
Jim.
No, it's not Jim. Oh my god.
The guy who was with the Lions?
No, that's not the Lions. No. Who was the head coach of the Texans?
This last year?
Yes.
I don't follow the Texans, so I don't know.
No, I don't follow the Texans, but I would see him like. Anyway, he was a minority head coach. They fired him because apparently. Oh, David Culley. There you go, David Culley.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yep. They hire him, and because he went 4-12 or 4-13, I keep on forgetting that they had an extra game. Because he went 4-13 and not 0-7, or they were trying to tank or whatever, because they knew that Deshaun Watson doesn't want to be a part of their organization. He got fired. So there you go. And then the Dolphins decided to fire
Brian Flores.
Brian Flores, because allegedly he's a hothead. He wasn't, living up to expectations, even though. Tell me what coach, Jason. You know the Cowboys were 1-7 like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
What didn't you kill for you to say on your channel? Well, Mike McCarthy, even though he started 1-7, he finished 8-8 or 9-7.
Yeah.
Like on the precipice of a playoff berth. Like he was that close. He was that close to getting the Dolphins to a playoff spot this year.
Well, here's, I don't know if you're done, but I'll.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So, let's start with Brian Flores here. The reason that he got fired because he didn't. They're calling him a hothead, and they're saying, he didn't live up to our expectations. There's only one thing they're talking about. Why the F didn't you tank, man? That's why. They wanted him to tank the games and throw the games on purpose again, to get their trade, to get higher on the trade list, to get more picks, and it might not always work out like that. Even Super Bowl championship teams sometimes end up on the, like, not being able to trade for the best. You know what I mean? Like, they end up at the bottom. That's just how it works. So, you know, this whole, they're putting out that, oh, he's a hothead, he's this, he's that. That's Stephen Ross talking, because Stephen Ross is in hot water in deep squiddly squat, because I can't curse on here. Darn it, Oscar. You know, he's in deep doo-doo because he's apparently paying people to tank his games. I wonder if Mike McDaniels got $200K out of him per game. We'll see this coming season, but that's what they wanted. So they're just throwing out all these names and excuses about Brian Flores so they can get all the blame away from them. But, I mean, yeah, and on Lovie Smith, I mean, Texans, as you've said, I think you said it on my channel, I think. They haven't been good in at least the last 3 years. I don't know that he's going to get them back up, but we'll see. We'll have to see. So now, on that, the guy who was a pro but not a great quarterback, and at one time he was high school coordinator, Brian Flores really wanted that hire to happen. You know why? Because then it proves his point. Oh, well, you're not going to hire minority coaches. Oh, see the problem that the NFL has? So he really wanted that hire to happen. But you know, the NFL, yeah.
Yeah. But
they're not.
Yeah.
They're look, these hires, you're right. They're to shut up the critics, and you know what I loved about this press conference? The one thing I did like was, I forget who it was, which reporter it was, but he literally, the first thing he does with his question is, he literally reads to that's baseball. Come on, me. He literally reads to Roger Goodell the list of statistics regarding the hiring of people of minority, and the numbers are so small. I mean, the statistics are just so incredibly small that it's embarrassing, you know. And I think what they're doing is they're just, you know what it is? You're putting a Band-Aid on a bad issue. You know, if you have a bad cut and it keeps getting red and it keeps getting infected, but you just put a Band-Aid over it and hoping it gets better. That's what the NFL is doing. This is not the first time Roger Goodell and the NFL have had to, I love the way that rhymes, confront diversity problems. He's like, oh, every 4 or 5 years, and we have every meeting but 2, we talk about diversity. Yeah, you talk about it, but you don't do jack about it. I'm trying not to curse here because it gets me mad. So, you know, they're just trying to put all these black coaches in place. What are you talking about? Look at all the black coaches we have. Right? Yeah. But a guy, I forget whose name it is, but a decade ago, he left the NFL. And he was a black head coach, and he said, these are the problems that I faced, and it's still the same. Terrell something. And look, it's sad that that's the way it is, and that, I mean, the NFL.
Wait, are you talking about the NBC dude?
No, he was a head coach, and he left 10 years ago.
No, I know. I think I know who you're talking about, but like, does he work for NBC now? Like,
oh, that I don't know. I just found out about him today. But I mean, if it's still the same, they're just putting in these head coaches to get it to shut up, focus on the Super Bowl, get to next year's season, and then oops, next year we have more diversity issues. I wonder why, because you just put in coaches to shut everything up and stop all the investigations. NFL has a problem with black people, and Roger Goodell is a racist mother effer. The NFL is racist. I think the only way, and you guys didn't comment on this point, which I don't remember why, but the only way that I made in my live video, the only way you're gonna get the NFL to change is if all the black players and all the minority players get together and say, we are effing out of here. We're striking until you fix this shit. Oops. Right?
Basically.
And I mean, you're going to, what did my friend and guest Duncan said, you're going to lose 90% of the league if you do that. 90! Do you really want to lose 90% of your guys? I do not think so.
Do you want to see old people play football? I don't think you want to go there.
Do you really want AARP? Woo! Life alert. Help, I've fallen in the field and I can't get up. You know? Are you going to have to call all these sports analysts, you know, the Shannon Sharps and the Tony Romos and the Troy Aikmans and say, hey, guys, can you play? Right? I would love to see them play, actually. But again, you're asking... these black players and these minority players, there's some that won't do it because, well, that's money and I'm rich and I really want that money. And there's some, I think they should do that. 90% of the league gone, you are effed. And they are going to need to make a change. And that's the only way the NFL is going to make a change. That's the only, and all the female staffers, all the male staffers should unite and all of that, get out of these teams and go on strike. You can't fire more than 25,000 people that work for the NFL and their teams. Not at once. And then have to do the hiring. I mean, I know I'm in politics. John Deere tried doing that. They said, fine, we'll fire all our old workers who were striking. We'll bring in new ones. Well, there was no one to train the new workers. So they had to bring back the old workers. See why I say they need to do a boycott? MLK, Rosa Parks, John Lewis, all these guys did a boycott of the bus system in Alabama and everywhere else. And guess what happened? Black people took the bus a lot. And instead they decided, I'm going to walk in the heat. I know I'm going to suffer, but I'd rather do that to stand up for my civil rights. And guess what? Them buses were like, we lost so much money. I mean, you guys can sit in the front. Yes, you have to. Ooh, thank you for coming back and saving our asses. That's what the NFL needs. They need 90% of the players to go, F you. We're out of here. And watch them. Who else wants to? What other black person wants to own a team? Who else wants to be a black head coach? Watch that change come right away.
Yeah. Oh, that's Jason in a nutshell, everyone.
Thought that was bad. Going to politics.
Do you need to take a swig of your beverage, Jason?
That's what I'm doing right now. I mean, it's true though, right? Like,
yeah.
How do you get? I mean, I'm not trying to get political, but it's the example I can think of. How do you get change to happen? The people in power, whether it's a department store owner, the owner of your franchise in McDonald's, or an NFL owner, or the NFL itself, the teams, just the league itself. How do you get change to happen? The people at the bottom and even the top players need to start making noise. As soon as they start making noise, do you really think you want to hear live on NBC News? This is Lester Holt, and today the NFL is having issues because their players are on strike and they want change in minority communities. You really think the NFL wants that? I bet you they're threatening players, but they do not want that, and that's how you get change to happen. I mean, that's the only way you get it. Because these guys, they're so stuck in they're like, well, I got money, I don't see what the problem is. They're so stuck in that the only way to get them to change is, oh, shoot, you're threatening my money. That's the only way.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, in politics, the Starbucks workers who went on strike, they got some big concessions. John Deere got some good concessions. And I could go into the nuance of the pro act. I'm not going to go in there and why it might not work, but it's when Starbucks workers went on strike that Starbucks went, oh my God, fine. Because who else was going to make the cinnamon dolce latte, your caramel frappuccino, and your coffee blonde decaf, hold the creamer and do this and that, and your strawberry green tea with 10 pumps of raspberry, right? Like, who's going to make all that?
Yeah.
Nope, right? So Starbucks knew that, and that's why I make that point is you make some noise as the people and as the players. Okay.
But, yeah. So, hold on. Oh, she's finally learning. My grandma, she literally saw me sitting at my computer because I told her, I'm like, sometimes when I'm in a meeting, don't interrupt me. She's like, so sometimes she does that. So when she opened up my door, I was like, oh, hold on. And then she literally saw that I was at my computer, so she just closed the door.
You have her trained. Can you come and train Emily?
Anyway, oh man, another phone call. Jason had to live.
All right, well, Oscar has more important things to do than talk to you guys. I would say probably one of my last thoughts. I would say, guys, players, you know, if these, I don't know. Here's my thing. I feel like there should be an independent body that works with the NFL, but not for the NFL, that checks all this crap. That way, players don't go to the NFL. Coaches don't go to the NFL.
Hey, Jason.
Yeah.
Let me put my volume up real fast.
Oh, no. Put it close to the mic. Ah! That Arab dude.
Say hey, Naeem. Unfortunately, Jason can't talk back because he's in my ear because I'm using the mic.
Fair enough. Hey, Jason. Hey, Oscar. How's everything? I'm going to be honest. I don't know if you guys are reacting to the team name, but I will say one thing. I find it odd, and this could just be me being, an outsider on the conversation, but I really find it odd that I really started to get comfortable with the name, the Washington football team, just as they threw that Commanders name at us. It's funny because when we first heard Washington football team, we said you couldn't come up with a blander temporary name, but I started to like it. I started to like it, honestly. And it was unique because not a lot of teams, I don't think any teams in the NFL, have a name just after their city. They
Oscar, take him out of your ear.
And it would have been
take
dry
me out of your
humor
ear.
and ironic, but it would have been cool if we kept Washington
the audio's
football
gonna
team.
go
I don't know
bad,
if anyone agrees with my point of view there.
Hey, Oscar, if you could tell Naeem.
Naeem, do you want to? Are you busy?
I'm going to go and get me some grub here in a few minutes, but what are you thinking? What are you proposing?
I'm going to send you the StreamYard link.
Okay,
so that we can hop in.
For a little.
Yeah, because all we're doing just, pop in for like 5-10 minutes, get your thoughts.
Naeem is our awesome terrorist friend. I'm just kidding.
Yo, man, you're trying to get me banned on YouTube.
Should we not use the word commanders or something?
No, it's because he said something.
I said that it's our awesome terrorist friend.
To hear the juicy goss.
Yeah, so let me send you this. Good thing that I copied the StreamYard link. Let me copy it and send it to you via text. Just to avoid the whole entire what happened to us last time. Do you think you can find some headphones to borrow?
Yeah, let me toy around in my room, see what I can come up with.
All right, I'll send you the link.
All right, see you guys in a few.
Yep.
All right.
Naeem Abuhab, everyone.
I was gonna make a joke. He said, "Could you come up with a blander name?" But then I started to like it. I'm like, "Of course, you do like bland things." Oh!
Yo.
Like his relationship.
Oh! I'm so dead. Anyways,
like his comebacks to his sisters. Oh!
Damn.
I like how we're talking about the dude and he's not even here. Let me finish my last point though, because I was ad-libbing.
Yeah,
I feel like there should be an independent firm that the players go to, the coaches go to, even the owners. Frig it. If they want to go there, go. And that firm looks into the NFL. And the NFL cannot be in the meetings. They can't. No. It's completely independent. But you still look into them. Because, And the last thing, I guess my thing is, I honestly don't see any change coming in terms of the minority thing. The longer the NFL continues, you will always have a minority issue. And as long as you got a white old mother effer in charge, you're always gonna have a diversity issue. Next year, they're gonna be talking about it, a diversity issue. Watch. Oscar, you there?
Yeah, I was just sending the link to Naeem. Sorry.
All right.
Yeah, I've lived enough.
Okay. Well, we're just gonna wait for our awesome terrorist friend, ladies and gentlemen.
I mean, we still got to discuss, our reactions to Roger Goodell. Even though I think, throughout the show we've, dropped hints that we weren't impressed. But, man, like the only newsworthy thing was him saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna play a few games in in Munich, Germany." Okay.
And going back to Mexico. That's it.
Yeah.
I guess we'll go to the press conference. My thought, you were completely right. I mean, he was so scripted. And like I told Oscar, ladies and gentlemen, on text messages, of course he is. He was having meetings with the PR team, with his publicists, with the lawyers and everybody. I mean, let's go down the list. I mean, you ask about diversity. Oh, we're doing everything we can. We believe everyone should have a thing with diversity. Hold on. Let me go to the next line here on my phone. Prompter, please. Prompter. Okay, please. Next bullet point. Okay, so we think that diversity is great. We want everybody to have fun in the game and be able to be a part of it. And he was talking about, well, we should have black vendors, who are just as good as the white vendors. You've even got a problem with your vendors.
Funny enough, I didn't catch that.
Yeah, it was one of the questions where he was saying
when you texted me, I was like, when did he talk about that? Like, I was like, that shows like, I guess I wasn't multitasking good enough because I did not catch that.
Yeah, so basically he was saying how I think the question was how can we improve, how can the NFL improve it on diversity and that the fact that you have a problem with vendors, when he talked about the Dan Snyder thing, which I kind of want to, hint at, we'll get on now, talk about, when he was asked a plain, simple ass freaking question, a simple cheeseburger, not any of the toppings, lettuce, tomato, pickle, onion, grilled mushroom, grilled jalapeno peppers, green peppers, nothing, extra cheese. Anyway,
you know that Naeem all he's gonna take away from this conversation is cheeseburgers.
But he was asked, and he usually doesn't take away a lot. But Roger Goodell literally was asked, "Are you going to?" Well, first he said there was no deal with him and Snyder that said the league and Snyder that said, "Hey, you can't release the report." Okay, well, that's fine. So now that there's no deal, as you say, because you don't want to get your ass in trouble, are you going to release the report or make it public, unlike the last investigation? That's an attorney thing. Lawyers!
Pretty much, yeah, because, I don't know if you stayed watching after they cut away, because on my feed, because I was watching it on what we have, the NFL Network. Mm-hmm. They actually have a studio, so they cut away immediately from the press conference to the studio, and the studio guys were saying that he really didn't answer any questions, he just deferred to lawyers basically the entire time. He
hid behind lawyers.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, and he hid behind lawyers. He didn't offer any solutions. He couldn't even answer a little girl. You can't even.
And she asked the simplest of questions because she's probably she sounded like she was 9-10.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, can you name a good player that has done good for the community, and can you name one? And he did good, the Walter, whatever his name was.
Walter Payton, yeah.
The Walter Payton Award, which, okay, cool. You can't name He's like, well, there's players that do a whole bunch of good things, and dude,
Like,
oh my god.
Like, you could have at least named the donation or whatever they did. Like, come on, man. Like,
Yeah, or even if he answered the question the same way, she's a kid. You are the commissioner of the NFL. She is 10, practicing her journalism. What if she remembers back to when, I interviewed the NFL commissioner when I was 10, and she's a 20-year-old college student? I mean, can you imagine? Like, hey, here's how I would have done it. I think her name was Audrey. Well, hello, Audrey. Who are you with? Oh, I'm with the, joke around with her. Well, I think it's great that you're gonna be a journalist, huh? Maybe you'll take my job. Jeez, you ask such great questions, right? You give them that, and you say, well, look, I think there are a lot of great players. Yes, that's why we have the Walter Payton Award. Because honestly, I can't pick one. There are players who donate to terminal illness causes. There are to children hospitals, to back to school programs. And honestly, I wish I could pick one, but that's how good our players are. That's an answer.
Bam. Yeah. Base.
Boom.
Yeah.
That's it. And he can't do that. And I mean, he literally answered 0 questions. Hey, what's the team that's gonna have the Bills? Oh, well, it should be a private and public help. That's it. That's all you're gonna say. He was so vague. There was nothing there. And you're asking about what are you gonna do to improve diversity? You could take nothing away aside from his microphone being shit. You take away nothing from that press conference. Nothing.
They asked him. Oh my god! I had a really good point in my mind, and it just slipped. Crap.
Lots of things slip when it comes to you.
That is true. Yo!
Imagine how many things slip when it comes to Naeem.
I don't deny it too. Like I just take it like a pro. I'm like, yeah, that's true.
Well, imagine how much slips through Naeem.
Don't make me laugh, bro. Don't make me laugh. Don't make me laugh.
Hey,
man, it was a really good
Roger
point.
Goodell's press conference. The way he talked reminded me of how Naeem stands up for himself. Oh! Ow!
Oh, we're really gonna. If he can't make it to Super Bowl, we're really gonna miss him.
Oh, I know. No, just making fun of him. That's our dude. No, just his press conference was absolutely a mess.
No, yeah, there was another one that there was another thing that caught my attention about his press conference.
What
comment
issue?
On it.
Do you remember?
It's my goodness. I hate when that happens to me. Well.
Okay.
I mean, what other takeaways? Let me see. Aside from stadium, aside from Dan Snyder, aside from diversity. I mean,
he talked about the Super Bowl being back in LA, and
yeah, he was like, they were like, do you think that it could be in the future? And we're like, I don't know, 4 years will tell. I was like, really, dude? My question is, where's the Super Bowl going to be next year? Because I know that 58 is going to be in Vegas.
Hell yeah, it is.
Where's 57 going to be? I guess I'll look that up later.
This press conference, what made me sad is that there were no solutions offered. You have had a week. This is how you know the wrong people are in power in the NFL. If it were me, I would have said, when they were talking about Byron, about coaching, and they were talking about, we're talking with other black...
That's another thing I wanted to discuss. The Broncos potentially getting a black owner. Like, how he deferred that. He was like, well, it would be great.
Be great, but I can't really do anything about that. Andrew something was the guy that I was listening to. I was on the Super Bowl Live thing is what it was called. And, he was saying that, the the whole thing of the owner. Like, dude, he has the power. People might say, well, you can't force the owners to hire a black man. Okay, but you do have control when it comes to the owners. You can hype him up. Did you know that the NFL commissioner said to hire Byron? No way. Yeah, all right, let's give up that, because the NFL commissioner carries a lot of weight. And again, he's shifting responsibility, and he's like, yeah, it is my responsibility. Yeah. Saying all the right things, but when he said he didn't offer any solutions, and he's like, yeah, that would be great if that'd be like telling the kid, hey, I would love for you to behave, and the kid's like, that'd be cool, but I'm still throwing a tantrum.
Yo, the legendary things we're gonna say that I'm gonna say on this podcast. Like, I literally cannot believe I said, what would you prefer, me killing you by a gun or killing you by a knife?
And then me going into how you can die with a knife versus how you can die with a gun.
Yo, this podcast is already legendary.
and then I'm calling someone a terrorist friend. Get ready for a strike, Oscar. Oh my god.
But
the press conference was just scripted. Well, here's what made me sad. I don't know, I didn't start watching until you told me that it was on, but which was pretty much at the beginning of when he started taking questions. No, I didn't see anything about the Super Bowl.
Yeah, that's what I want. Like, nothing about like, all he said was like, well, we're in the great city of Los Angeles or whatever.
Like, that's it. And you could, as a commissioner, you can't control the questions. What you can do is you can take 20 minutes, 30 minutes, however long you want, and talk about, we've gone around Los Angeles and there's a lot of big celebrations going on because the Super Bowl is here, and it's been a while since it's been in LA. I went to this Super Bowl party here, and there's a live events and this and that, and we're excited for Odell, and we're excited for Matthew Stafford and Joe Burrow, and And what made me so sad is that there's so much controversy in this league, so bad, and the issues are so enormous that it's a Super Bowl press conference, the annual Wednesday, the traditional annual Wednesday press conference, Super Bowl press conference, and 0 out of 0 questions were asked about the Super Bowl. 0. None. That is what's so sad, is that you have such a problem, that your league is so racist, that you have such problems with diversity, that you can't even talk about why you're even in LA or having a press conference in LA. You are based out of New York, not LA, and you can't even discuss that because you've got so much bad crap going on. That is what makes me so sad.
Yeah. Well, I guess Naomi ain't gonna show up.
Here, text him, because we gotta make fun of. Come on.
I texted in the link, but
call him.
On his time.
Call him.
I mean, I don't want to make this podcast so long, though.
We're live. It's fine.
Hold on. Oh, I just thought he's not gonna make it, bro. Oh, Jason.
Why not?
Because it's his B day.
Oh.
Yeah, I just remembered. Like,
I like how he forgot that.
He probably didn't. Hence the reason why he said, "I'm gonna go eat something."
Oh.
So he's probably like with his family. Or, I don't know. But yeah. I mean, first episode, y'all. Already legendary moments. Hopefully YouTube don't cancel me. for the things that I just...
Let me talk about terrorism real quick. So when a terrorist drops a bomb...
Shut up, Jason!
Oh, by the way, what joke can I make? Oh! Only, the lockdowns only prevented 0.2% of deaths. Why am I forgetting on my talk? That's how long I haven't done politics.
No. Yeah, stay on your... Oh, wait, I forgot. You lost your baby.
I didn't lose it. I misplaced it for now. And I'll find it in 2 months.
I still can't believe you can't post on that thing.
Well, at least I can post on the platforms. By the way, the vaccines do not prevent transmission.
Stop it.
They do not prevent you from getting COVID.
Stop it.
It does not stop as soon as you get the vaccine. You can still get COVID when you get the booster. I'm just trying to get you banned. Haha.
But
Oh, and masks don't help. Oops.
Anyway, before he gets me banned, I guess since we're here and killing time, and I really don't want to do a video.
With a knife or a gun?
Shut up. Oh, and so anyways, like, no, I probably will do a video. Super Bowl announcement, y'all, that I'm doing a live stream on my channel. Jason and I are trying to work out and see if we can multi-stream on his channel too, but it's just right now on my end, it's, I did some research. It sounds really hard and complicated and involves a large investment sum of money. And Jason, if you want to do that, you can, but I ain't doing it.
How much? Like what? $39, I think.
Yeah, it was something like that. $40.
I don't mind doing that.
Get out of here, bro! I barely want to pay the $25 I'm paying now.
I mean, I don't either, but
I mean, to each their own, I guess.
I mean, hey, it's not my fault. I want more views, and if I ever have to not ever do politics again because of YouTube, I need something.
YouTube, don't cancel us.
Maybe Oscar's channel.
I mean, they already canceled your channel.
Yeah, so I'm trying to get you to join me in YouTube jail. It's very relaxing in these jail cells. YouTube jail. I mean, I literally just said a bunch of COVID misinformation. Oh well, it's not misinformation, but they're gonna count it.
Do you like do you like mopping the jail floors?
Oh, I don't do that. I let the others do it. The ones who are actually banned. Mine, it's gonna come back. I haven't gotten there yet. I don't get that privilege.
Anyway, so that's the Super Bowl announcement, y'all. That we're
gonna be live 4 freaking hours.
So get your snacks, get your chips and salsa, get your
guacamole dip,
wings,
your beans, your pizza, your wings, your barbecue.
I still haven't decided what I'm gonna order. Have you decided yet?
No, I haven't, and apparently I'm gonna be with Emily this weekend, so I'm gonna ask my mom if she can actually leave her somewhere else. But because I had barbecue recently, and the thing is, I don't want to just order one thing because I know it's gonna the Super Bowl. I want to order a bunch of things, so I might just go to Target and buy a whole bunch of crap. Aside like some side dishes, but for my main meal, ladies and gentlemen, if you could comment down below what me and Oscar should order. I have not decided what I'm gonna order, but
and please note that he lives on the West Coast and I live on East Coast, so
just mention snacks and foods, and we'll go to whatever stores we have that have them.
Yeah.
So just mention things that we should get. Don't mention stores, and we'll take it according to. But I'm probably gonna stand up for half the stream because sitting down for 4 hours is not gonna be.
Oh no! And I have an uncomfortable chair.
Can you put like a pillow or something on there?
Yes.
Yeah, do that.
But still, I'm not gonna sit for 4 hours. Heck no.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm excited for the Super Bowl. I still have to do my prediction video.
Finally, nothing to do with Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, Ben Roethlisberger.
Well, apparently he's talking about a comeback.
Oh no! Oh, let's talk about that real quick. Oh heck no! If he does that, I'm gonna be so mad.
Yeah, like why, dude? Just come back. I'd rather him just stay for another. I really wouldn't, but if you're gonna do that, just come back. False flag. They didn't. Yeah, just don't do a comeback. Please don't do a comeback. Please, dear God. I don't want to talk about you, Tom Brady. I really don't.
Yeah, I really don't either. I'm like, I really don't want to take down my. Cause that was a good video. The one that his send off video. That was a good.
Oh no, I'm not taking it down. No, you keep that up. You keep that up.
Yeah, but I want to do another one.
Hey, you repost that one.
Anyway, so I guess we can wrap this up. Like I said, this is gonna be a weekly show. My plan is hopefully to do it on either Tuesdays or Wednesdays once I get in a well-established co-host. But right now it's gonna be a revolving door. Like this week, to kick it up, this episode I had Jason. Maybe next week I'll have another one, or maybe I'll fly solo, even though I really don't want to, because doing solo streams is just sad and no. Me talking to myself, no.
I mean, you normally do that.
That's true, but I don't know why, but when it comes to when I do like recorded videos, okay, whatever, But when it's on stream,
yeah,
I don't know, it just depresses me. But once I get an established co-host, obviously, I'll introduce them as my, established co-host. But as of right now, I'll be having guests on. You'll be getting just some streams, with me, talking about Washington's hopeless dreams. I don't know if you caught the end of at the end of my main theme where you hear the glass shattering. So I'm gonna. My hopes and dreams for Washington are shattered, so I'm gonna shatter the rest of y'all's.
Best YouTuber ever.
But this was the first episode. Hopefully, YouTube doesn't cancel me with Jason going on a rant.
I'm only trying my best.
Anyway, but all right, y'all. Make sure you guys hit that sub button. Also, make sure you hit Jason. Sub up Jason's sports. And if you're into politics, I'm gonna have to put the description or the link for that in the description, even though I don't have it. He hasn't posted a lot since November, I think, was the last time.
No, January. Early January.
Man, this is proof that this year is starting off very slow.
Yeah, starting off slow.
Next thing you know, we're gonna be in December. Be like, damn, where did 2022 go?
Well, and your channel might get canceled with everything I said tonight.
I can create a new channel. That's what Fisk Vegas did when he said something that he wasn't supposed to. He literally created a new channel.
Yeah, but like he had like thousands of followers, so they just went like, "Oh, let me go to his channel." Good luck.
Pretty simple. Anyway, alrighty, y'all. Make sure you hit that sub button on all platforms. This is a podcast, so I will upload it to Anchor, Spotify, all that other good stuff tomorrow. Yeah, tomorrow. I'll
sometime this week.
Sometime this week.
Yeah.
Before
Super Bowl.
Yeah, before the Super Bowl. So make sure you guys check it out on other podcast platforms. All right, y'all, we're out of here.